What is a Gnorc? Some say they are a cross between a gnome and an orc. Some say they are a species of troll. Some believe they originate from swampy regions, whereas others tell stories of them being made from the gemstones of dragons. Some say there is one Gnorc who is the meanest and nastiest of them all. Well, one thing is for certain. We don't gotta deal with no orcs! Nasty Gnorc is dead, we destroyed his minions, took back our gems, and made him look like a fool! Now all we gotta deal with is this... Hey, what is this?
I don't know what it bloody is.
Is he like a gazelle?
It's quite clearly not a gazelle.
Like a
It
monster,
could be
a gazelle, wizard thing?
I know,
I'm not really sure.
anything. Just say anything.
Okay, I'll deal with it. With this Ripto! Welcome back everyone to a brand new episode. Today we shall continue our look through the Spyro Reignited Trilogy with the next game, Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. If you missed my previous episode on Spyro the Dragon, then you can find it up here, so make sure you go check it out. Same as last time, I shall be looking at this game and reviewing it on its own merits and its own game, only making occasional comparisons to the original. This game is part of the Reignited Trilogy for the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC, and has been developed by Toys for Bob and published by Activision, and I have played the Nintendo Switch version for this review. Now, before we begin, this is your spoiler warning, so if you want to go play the game first, then go do it now and come back. Otherwise, just sit back, relax, on your pile of gems, and let's glide right in. So we pick up just after the original Spyro game, in which Spyro is having a chat with Sparks about needing a vacation, and makes the decision to go to Dragon Shores. It then cuts to three new characters, Elora the Fawn, Hunter the Cheetah, and the Professor. These characters are based in a world known as Avalar, and are testing out a new portal. In their tests, they accidentally bring forth Ripto, a warlock, and his two cronies, Crush and Gulp. Ripto decides to conquer Avalar, as it is away from dragons, who he does not have fond feelings towards. Hearing this, Elora, Hunter and the Professor make a plan to use the portal to bring in a dragon to help defeat Ripto and take back Avalar. In come Spyro and Sparks, confused about where he is, but Ripto destroys the portal, stranding Spyro in Avalar. After having a chat with the three that brought him here, he decides to help out and take out Ripto and his minions. From here you go through the worlds of Avalar, saving the inhabitants of this world from their problems and collecting the talismans and orbs of each world in order to defeat Crush, Gulp and Ripto, save Avalar and make his way to Dragon Shores for his much needed vacation. When it comes to the gameplay, Spyro 2 has not changed a huge amount from the previous game, especially since it was all done together within the remaster. You go through three main hub worlds of Avalar: Summer Forest, Autumn Plains and Winter Tundra. Each world has their own castle in which you must gain access so that you might fight the boss of that world. Each hub world each have their own inner levels, all of which you must go to so that you may obtain the talismans of those worlds as well as their orbs and treasure. Orbs are collected so that more portals may be opened within the game and further progression may be made. You obtain orbs by doing side quests that you get from the inhabitants of each level. These range from getting young turtles to a certain place, to destroying the robot bugs so they don't ruin the scarecrows, and other things along those lines. You know, side quest stuff. Of course, they have brought back my ever-hated parts, the flight levels. These are pretty much the same as before. You have a time limit to fly through a level and use your flame attack on 4 sets of things, them being anything from sea monsters to bungee jumpers. They have added a little extra this time around though. Once you beat it, you may try and beat your time, but if you find a special character hidden in each level, they will give you a mission involving Hunter. These vary from just flying through rings, to catching money falling out of the sky, to paragliding through rings. Doing these will gain you more orbs. Yes, it's nice having a little extra to these missions, but I still hate them. Combat is very much the same as the previous game. You can either charge or use your flames to take down enemies. Charging is used for armoured enemies and flames for the larger enemies. A few changes have now been made though since the previous game. Some levels will have you picking up rocks or other things of the same nature in which you need to shoot them at the enemies to take them down. They have also taken the supercharge and super flame systems and changed them up ever so slightly, which I'll explain in just a moment. Unlike the previous games, when you defeat an enemy, instead of getting gems, you in fact get their soul, their essence, whatever you want to call it. Now once you have defeated enough enemies, certain levels will have these little gate looking things activate, in which one of a number of powers will activate. These will either be the supercharge, the super flame, the super flight, or an ice shield in which you can walk around on lava. Gliding is pretty much the same, except for the super flight sections, and also this lovely little technique that was added in the second game, allowing you to use this little flutter at the end of your glide to get that little extra height at the end of it to catch ledges you will have just missed. This is a godsend at times, it really is. Sparks is still your health bar, and he works in exactly the same way. He will change colour each time you're hit, and once he has disappeared, you have one hit left before dying. To replenish your health, you just need to attack one of the critters around to get a butterfly that he can eat. As I said before, each world has a castle which houses the boss of the place. These are Ripto and his goons, Crush and Gulp, one in each world. Once you finish one of the bosses, you can journey to the next hub world. As you go through the game, you meet the money-grubbing arse of this game, Moneybags the Bear. He charges you to open up pathways and openings to more levels. He also teaches you extra abilities, for a fee of course. These include climbing, swimming, and a lovely head smash. These are all self-explanatory, so I won't delve into what each of them does. But they are all needed if you wanted to finish this game, and especially if you want to complete it. Once again, you have the ability to point to the nearest gem using sparks, you have the map, and you can shoot your flames using the shoulder button. Toys for Bob included the skill points in this game as well. Some of these got a bit tough, as some of them were to defeat certain bosses perfectly. And god damn it, if Gulp is not the biggest pain to try and do this. Another set of them, which caused me some issues, was completing the flying levels in a certain time. Why do Toys for Bob hate me so much? Completing these tasks though open up the artwork for you, so it's definitely something worth doing if you enjoy looking at these kind of things. When you've gathered enough gems at the end of the game, you actually get to enter Dragon Shores and enjoy Spyro's vacation with him. You get to ride the roller coaster, dunk a Yeti, and shoot the ducks. It's an awesome end to the game, and for just a little added extra, you get to have an infinite super flame to take around the rest of the game with you, which, if you want to do some of the skill points, it will help a hell of a lot.
That's actually what I did with Gulp in the end, because damn him.
If you watched my previous Spyro review, then this section is going to sound very familiar, as since the games were made together for the Trilogy remaster, everything is under the same umbrella. For those who missed my previous review, this is for you. The music for the original Spyro 2 was composed by Stuart Copeland, the drummer for The Police, and was engineered and co-produced by Jeff Seitz. Apologies if I butchered that name. For the remaster, Stuart Copeland only wrote a new main theme for the trilogy, and the music from the original game was re-recorded by Stefan Vankoff. I personally think the music is fantastic, and the original has definitely been done the justice it deserves. There is a dynamic music feature which makes the music change depending on what you're doing, so it becomes louder and more intense if you're charging and fighting, and more relaxed when you're exploring. If you prefer the original soundtrack though, you are more than welcome to listen to it, as they put the option for you to do this. The voice acting is still phenomenal, same as the last game. You have Tom Kenny continuing the voice of Spyro, which is just fantastic. And with the ensemble voice cast around him doing an amazing job with their characters, you cannot complain about the voice acting in this game. I love it. The graphics continue to look out of this world in this trilogy, with everyone and everything getting an awesome rehaul in their looks, while still keeping faithful to their original design. The world feels full and magical, and you really feel like you're on your own adventure. The one thing I would say is the human characters look weirdly disturbing. I realise that they're humans, and so should have the features of humans, but I just feel uneasy looking at them for some reason compared to their original counterparts. The only technical issues I had was once again lag in the loading screens between levels. Still don't know why, but it's there. Like the last Spyro review, the one thing that bugged me was the ending credits. This time, it just did the same credits as the Spyro 1 remaster with all the dragons. This really bugged me. I realise it's all part of one big remaster, but give me different pictures to look at during the credits depending on the game I'm playing. It really felt like they went all this way, perfecting the graphics and music and gameplay, creating awesome artwork for the credits, but then just dropping the ball by repeating the credit pictures at the end for the second game. I understand it's a really minor thing, but it just really irritated me. Other than that, bang up job. Had a great time playing this, and the same as before, I did everything there was to do in this game, putting it to 100%. Done. Nice. Well, thank you for joining me today, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Have you played this remaster? If so, what did you think? I would love to hear your thoughts. If you haven't already, then please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, and make sure you drop a like. If you have a game that you really want me to review, then let me know and I'll see what I can do. I shall catch you next time. Take it easy, everybody.